Whatever else you guys can suggest. Okay, we're gonna go. We're going right now. Here we go. Let me make the switch here. Alrighty. So I have another webcam for this. Hopefully it works. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Hopefully there's no dicks. Oh, yes. Here we go, guys. Oh, here we have somebody.
You look like my friend's dad.
Huh?
You look like my friend's dad.
I look like your friend's dad? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's how we're going here. Hey.
Seen over the years.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and stop this because it looks like there's jizz right there. So I'm just going to go. Yes, really. Okay, let's go. New one. Man, this is already starting off very differently than last time.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to debate?
Sure.
What do you want to debate? You better not, dude. I just want to debate. Fair warning.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything else.
That's why. What do you mean?
Okay, so what do you want to... Where are you on the political spectrum?
Right.
You're right? Oh, I can't debate with you, dude. That's where I am.
Well, okay, well, hang on. I'm kind of an obscure. What type of right are you?
Well, I don't even know if I'm necessarily right. I'm an American, obviously. And in America, if you question anything on the left, you are right. So, in that sense, I am right wing.
Okay.
And just so you know, I am streaming, live streaming right now. A grand total of like 50 people, but it's cool.
That's fine. Okay. Well, what what box would you put yourself in?
So, well, let me just like, I'll suggest some topics here. Maybe, what do you feel about Elon Musk buying Twitter, possibly?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like a nation can only be run one of two ways, right? I feel like it could either be complete freedom, you know, like you just max out the freedom on everything.
Yeah.
Or you just don't have any, really. I mean, I don't think a halfway really works because then things start to deteriorate. So I think Musk buying Twitter, like increasing their free speech, yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. We're probably not going to disagree on much. Let me recommend that you go check out my channel on YouTube, Dronetek. Just look up Dronetek. Check it out. You'll see yourself and anything else. But I'm looking for lefties, to be quite honest. I'm looking for some hard lefties.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what's funny? I did like a couple trial runs of this before I did this live stream, and everybody I encountered was like hardcore left. And then I just started. You're my first person. You're a right winger.
Yeah, I came across this one guy, and he was from your country, and he was super unfriendly. He was like, I'm a communist. Really? I'm like, all right, that's cool.
He called you a communist. Why did he call you a communist?
No. He was a communist.
Oh, he was. Right, yeah.
Like, we are gonna get along.
Yeah, we got a lot of Antifa types in America. Like, why do we have all these socialists and communists in America? Like, what the fuck? What is that? It's not just America, though. It's like all over the Western world.
If you wanted to question me, though, you could question me on some right-wing views, like, because I would identify myself as a cultural nationalist, right?
Okay.
So if you wanted to ask me on anything that way.
Nope. We're moving on, guys. I'm looking for a left winger. I kind of already said my goodbyes to that guy, so. Hello. Hey, what's up, man? You can't talk? All right. Moving on. No dick shit. That's good. Hey, what's up, man?
The ceiling, I guess. I don't know. Fuck at this point.
All right. Okay.
What's up with you?
I'm live streaming, looking for people to debate about whatever.
Oh, cool. So I'm probably going to be on YouTube, huh?
Well, you are right now, yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, what do you want to debate?
I don't know. Where are you on the political spectrum, first of all?
I Sorry, I'm nervous being on.
You're good, man. You're good. It's only like there's like 60 people right now, so
That's
it's
more than I'm used to talking to. Okay,
Okay,
so
well.
all right, so I'm probably would be considered liberal
Okay,
as
well,
far as politics.
yeah, I mean, me too, but they call me a right winger, so let's see where you're at. What do you think about what's your opinion about Elon Musk possibly acquiring Twitter?
Is it all right if I vape on?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm vaping.
Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. My opinion of Elon Musk acquiring Twitter. I just read about that like a couple hours ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly I honestly can't give a fair and balanced opinion about it. I don't think it would be great. I think I know that a lot of people like Elon Musk because he's like this big tech guy and all that, and he has a lot of good ideas. Has a lot of creative ideas, a lot of out of the box stuff. I think
he's
all
improving
great.
the world.
Yeah, I think that's all great, but there's this one little thing that people keep missing. He's a billionaire.
Okay, well,
And so
let me ask you this.
That
Let's
might
stop.
get a little bit out of.
Okay, well, let's stop there. First of all, I mean, the mass media is owned by billionaires already, right? Okay, so that's already a thing. So it's kind of weird to me that pops up as like an attack on Musk, because it's like Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, which is, they claim to be defenders of democracy. Their headline on all their papers is "Democracy dies in darkness." They're owned by a billionaire who is decidedly, he's a Democrat and he's pretty far left, right?
Mhm.
Nobody really complains about that because I mean the people say stuff, but there's never been like this weird concerted effort to like, that just seems like a weird argument against, especially because Elon Musk. And hey, I ran a poll on my own channel as if, like, half jokingly, if Elon Musk was the Antichrist, because it's like we all, there's so much to love about this guy, right? It's like, it's almost like, oh, are we like letting ourselves be, pulled in by this guy? But people mostly voted no. There was a lot for yes, but yeah, I mean, I can see your hesitancy, but like the guy, look, he's just like adding to the world. He's exploring space. He is pushing humanity in a positive direction. And the reason he wants to buy Twitter is because he wants more free speech. So like, what could possibly be wrong with that? Is my question.
If that's what he really wants to do, then great, and I fully support that. But the problem is, I have a lot of trust issues with people in general, and especially with higher ups, because in 99.99% of the cases, it's been bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that what he says is what he wants to do and how it will turn out. I really hope so, and I would fully support that. I just don't think that I just don't think that he's sincere.
Okay, well, that's fair enough, because I mean, none of us really know if he is. I mean, I got to tell you my own opinion. I think the guy is. He seems very sincere, and I maybe it's just because he talks about like he talks about like terraforming Mars and shit like that, and I just love that shit. Right? I grew up reading popular mechanics and shit about doing that, and I just I love that this guy exists and he's actually trying to do these things. And to me, anybody doing these things, like, and just the things I don't know, and that's why I say, like, it is possible he's a bad guy. You never know. But I think out of everybody out there, as far as who they show themselves to be, he's without a doubt, to me, like the person that you would want to get behind. Like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Hey man, I enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. We're moving on from that guy. All right. What's up, man?
We sleep.
Why are you masked? Did you just get from a raping?
No, I have controversial opinions, bro.
Do you? All right. Would you say you're right or left?
I'm more authoritarian, but I'm like not full right. I am leftist. Like I'm in favor of socialism. I'm in
Okay.
favor of like gay rights. I don't care, but I'm more of a nationalist, I would say. Like I want to
Okay.
close the borders and just like, but keep the gay shit out of media because
Okay.
just like it creates division, I would say. But I don't give a fuck if you're gay. Like I don't care, but like.
I'm not gay.
And I like
just so you know.
socialism. Like I want to take care of the community, bro. I
Okay.
would love to take care of the community. And that's
I'm
what
interested.
socialism does. That's love not the left, but I'm authoritarian. You have to be authoritarian when you do shit like that. So
Okay, are you like, just so you know, you're being live streamed right now.
well, fascist.
You're not fat. You're fascist. You're a parody, right? You're a parody.
I mean, what?
He's a parody. I'm moving on. Guys, I'm trying to. This is so crazy. Like my 2 trial runs, I found much more interesting people than these people. It's gonna happen. Just give it some time. Like I found nothing but Kavi's last time. The last time I did this. Just so you guys know, I bring you up to speed. Hold on. Oh my God, we got another masked man here. Hello.
How does that make sense? They live if sleep. If who sleeps?
We sleep. They live. We sleep. It's from a fucking movie, dude.
Oh wow.
Have you ever seen They Live?
No.
You fucking
I've
dude.
seen If Sleep.
I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. Go watch the movie They Live.
Oh, I have failed homework. But
Just
I've
do
seen
it.
Have you seen If Sleep?
Who gives a shit about that? Nobody cares about If Sleep.
Half of your
They
shirt.
Live is a masterpiece.
Listen,
All right,
you only
fuck
know,
off, dude. He doesn't know what They Live is. He doesn't get my time. Oh no, it's like another jizz table. I'm moving on from that. Let's go for a new one, guys. Here we go. Isn't this fun? Oh my God. Another. Okay, so you got.
Go on.
Are you ready to debate?
Yes, what's the topic?
Where are you politically, first of all?
Well, I live in the United States, so American.
Okay, that's fine. So, where do you stand on Elon Musk possibly buying Twitter?
I don't give a shit what billionaires do.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Do you think, would you like to argue with me about the fact that our media is completely corrupt and is a tool of one of the political parties in our country?
Well, that's the function of media.
All right, you're too base for me. Yeah, you should not be well, all right, you're good. Later. Yes, guys, that's what I wanted to tell you all. It's not just dicks anymore. It's fun. Look, we're back to this guy.
Hey,
What's up, man?
not much. I've just been
There's
trying
not
to
many
find
people debating, man.
No,
There's
there's not.
like no left wingers. Like, what
Yeah.
is that? Like the
I
last
find-
time I did this, it was like all left wingers.
I found a couple, but it's yeah.
Do I need to
Yeah.
change? What category are you in?
I just searched up politics.
Just politics? Okay, I did politics and debate. Well, the first time I just did politics.
You'll find someone, and I'll see you.
All right, later, man. We'll find somebody, guys. We'll find somebody, and ladies, I promise.
Damn it.
Hey, was that? I bet it was that guy again.
Christ.
What's up, man? What's up, man?
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing, man?
Not bad. What's up with your shirt? What's it mean?
It's from the movie They Live. Have you ever seen that?
Nope.
What the fuck, dude? As soon as you're done,
I-
as soon as you're done, whatever you're doing, go watch that movie.
Okay. Where is it? Hulu, Netflix, what?
I think it's on Netflix. I'm not 100% sure. Just Google it. You'll find it.
Okay. So what are you here to talk about?
I don't know. I'm
guess?
just
I don't know.
I'm debating on my YouTube channel right now. I'm
Oh,
just looking for random people to debate, with. Look, you got your camera under your microwave. That's amazing.
Yeah. I moved it so I can come. Oh my god, it made him. Oh shit, it's a little bit hot. What's your YouTube channel?
Dronetek, Dronetek. Where are you politically?
I am center left. Okay, DOR what?
Dronetek.
NETEK.
Yeah, Dronetek.
Oh shit.
There's not many
got a
people
lot of
like
subs.
watching right now. There's like 100 people. I don't
Okay.
live stream a ton on the channel. I used to a lot, and I don't so much these days. But yeah,
Okay, all good.
I'm
So-
doing this as like a new idea. You know, something new to try.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay. Well, yeah, I lean center left. I'd consider myself a liberal.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm only 18, so I'm still kind of forming my
Oh,
opinions, I
good,
guess.
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that because when I was young, when I was your age, I was pretty left wing myself. Although I wouldn't
Right.
say I was centrist back then. I was definitely like hard left. I snapped out of that. But so yeah, where would you stand on like Elon Musk buying Twitter, possibly?
I don't know. I haven't formed much of an opinion on it. What are people saying though?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, billionaires own the means of communications in our country already, right?
Right.
But the fact that Elon Musk is trying to possibly buy Twitter, they're the left, what you would call the left, or the Democrats, or the liberal media, or whatever you want to call it. They're all lashing out, attacking Elon Musk, saying, "Oh, it's dangerous to democracy if this billionaire owns this important means of communication."
Right.
And it's just like, well, Elon Musk seems like a pretty good guy. He's developing all these amazing things, pushing humanity forward in ways that like no other human on the planet really is. I mean, he's really doing amazing things, you know. And like, I'm not gonna say I like have like a man crush on the guy, but I think he's pretty fucking awesome, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can understand those people's perspective. I think that we have to kind of take the fact that it's Elon Musk specifically out of the equation and focus on the idea, because I think the idea is what they're more afraid of, and what I think actually has some merit to it, because we know that Twitter is a major outlet for information. I think that millions of people get their information from Twitter.
Yeah.
So I think that because information, especially lately in our political climate, has become so important, it kind of frightens people when that information and the way that it's circulated is owned by a private individual or corporation that might have some kind of interest that might affect the validity of the information or the truthfulness of the information being spread. So I think that's the idea is what frightens people, and I think that has some validity to it, regardless of our stance on Elon Musk.
Okay. And like, honestly, if it were flipped, which it currently is, actually, I would feel a lot different, which I do. And I would say that like currently it is, and I want to say that the board members actually, all of them own very little actually of the company, very, very little. In fact, they are, there's like one person, I believe, that's mostly on it. And and they're obviously geared, or they're obviously biased politically one direction. They are, and like what Elon Musk has done is kind of proven that, because it's not about the money; it's about them keeping control of, you know, the flow of information, and ultimately, actually, even, you know, elections. And I think they know they have that power. We know that they know they have that power because I don't know if you ever saw it. There was a Time magazine article that came out not long after the election, the 2020 election, basically bragging about how they saved democracy by doing all this stuff, which essentially was manipulating the election through algorithms and censorship. And
Sure.
you know, and what we've actually seen, and what we actually saw before the last election, no matter how you feel about Trump, I mean, and I think a lot of these people really convinced themselves that what they were doing was okay because they thought Trump was so horrible, but they literally, I mean, it's like Putin-style censorship. They totalitarian like style censorship they unleashed on this country before the election, so as not to tilt it, you know, away from Biden. And I think that's dangerous. I think everything you said is true and is scary, but is actually what we're dealing with at this current time, which is why Elon Musk is doing what he's doing.
So I haven't read the particular Time article you're talking about, so I honestly can't comment on that.
I can find
I will
it, but
comment
yeah.
on. Okay,
Good.
cool. If you want to share that, I would
Yeah, I will.
actually be really great.
Yeah, I will.
I would agree with you that Twitter already, and not just Twitter, but other information outlets, they do function a lot of times in a perspective that's biased towards the left. And I think that any self-respecting person on the left would admit that. And I think that it's a direct consequence of the left's own actions, really. And so it's a little bit weird sometimes when people on the left deny the fact that Twitter and other social media platforms lean left and bias, because, like, isn't this what you wanted?
Mhm.
So I would agree with all that. I think that it is scary regardless of which aisle has the power, because obviously, let's say that, okay, from my perspective, let's say that Twitter is pushing a bunch of policies and pushing a bunch of political candidates that I agree with, right? Let's say they're doing that and I just blindlessly go with it because, okay, well, I'm not the side being having that bias put against me.
Mhm.
At that time, I'm forfeiting my value of truth and my value of the spread of information freely. And so I think that when we're discussing how we should handle huge information platforms like Twitter, Facebook, even YouTube, I feel like um, maybe it's not best to have those be privately owned, but rather have them have some kind of public control. Because typically, when things are publicly owned, at least people like you or me or anyone else really whose voice wants to be heard, at least we're more able to influence that, right?
Yeah. Right. That
Yeah.
is actually that's a good point.
Yeah.
And I think
Is my mic? Sorry,
Yeah.
Is my mic? Is it? Can you hear me well? Okay.
Yeah, I can
Sorry,
hear you
just making
great.
sure.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Thank you.
I would agree with that, and it's funny because I'd be like, oh, we should put our trust in Elon Musk because he seems like a good guy and he's for free.
Yeah.
Here's all I would say about that is that Elon Musk's goal here, and he's stated it, he's been very clear about it, that free speech is having to hear speech that you don't like and don't agree with from people that you don't like and don't agree with, right? And it's like that speech needs to be out there because, look, you gotta trust adults to be able to sift through that on their own and figure it out. And I think that that people can, like, if you watch my channel, you may get the idea that, oh man, this guy hears something, he just no, not at all. Like, I'm very skeptical of anything I hear from any source, like whether it be from sources I tend to agree. A great example of this would be if you're on Twitter right now. There's this clip going around from MSNBC of Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough, and they're talking about Trump, and they're talking about how he's trying to control the way people think, and Mika Brzezinski says something along the lines of, "Oh, it's our job to control what people think." And the clip on its own is disturbing, but like people are passing it around like she's talking about Elon, and I saw it and it was instantly like, I don't know, And so like, I'm skeptical of things. I think most people are when they see it. I'm actually kind of surprised about people passing that around as they're talking about Elon, but.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I think that ultimately we have to err on the side of like putting it all out there and letting people decide for themselves, because ultimately you're putting those choices in the hands of people with a lot of power and a lot of unaccountability. And it's like, who are we voting on? Who these people are currently? No, nobody. Like, it's definitely more left wing that are centering and choosing what is informative or authoritative news, and there's wrong so much. It's like, well, do they ever pay a price? No, they don't.
Right. And you know what? You won't find any disagreement from me here. I think that something you said that interested me a lot was who's holding these people accountable. That's probably why I support having these massive, outlets of information be publicly owned, at least to some extent, because it's true that both publicly owning these, like, if you have Twitter be publicly owned, it's still susceptible to the same misinformation that it could be while privately
Right, we
owned.
know that because it's happening now. Right.
Exactly. But I think the distinction there is that our ability to hold Twitter accountable, if it is to be publicly owned, is a little bit greater than if it is privately owned. If we have no stock in that company, as opposed to whether we're voting for our elected officials who can hold those people accountable. Like, for example, it's not like these social media companies are are protected from public scrutiny. We saw that Mark Zuckerberg was getting grilled in Congress about his policies with security and privacy. So I think that having that ability to use, I guess, the government to help enforce, not enforce, to help keep these, like, these apps in check, I guess, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right, I do, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But
does that make sense to you?
Right, it totally does. But here's how I would retort is that if you watch those hearings with Zuckerberg,
Sure.
or with Zuckerberg, I get them always confused. If you watch that, what you really saw was the Democrats, when they got their chance, all they were doing was pushing for more censorship. They were like, you need to do more to censor these people and these groups. And honestly, like, and look, I am by no means like a big fan of the Republican Party here. Okay, like I can count on my finger, on my one hand, the amount of Republicans that I even come halfway close to respecting. So I am by no means like a big time Republican here, but when it came to those hearings, they were interested in free speech, opening it up, not censoring people, while it was the other side that's all about doing that. And what you're seeing right now is kind of proof that that's all they care about is the control. And they know, especially going into the midterms now, when Democrats are not looking so good, they want to retain that control so badly because they want to help themselves in as much a way they can. And they can do that by controlling Twitter. Because Twitter, look, I mean, dude, that Hunter Biden story, there was studies out at the time, and I can't think of who it was now. I can look it up. But they just there was a couple studies done that showed that there would have been like 17% of voters that would have turned from Biden had they have known about the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Right, exactly.
So they manipulated the election, and let me tell you, it's been going on a long time. Okay, they've been manipulating elections. In my lifetime, every election the Democrats have lost, they claim was stolen, and they tried to overturn.
Okay, and look, the thing is that, as you said, I'm not as familiar with some of these data points you're bringing up, but if it is true that people would have voted for, not voted for Biden had they known that, that's just another piece of evidence that the only way for us to truly have free speech is if we have access to information, right?
Right.
If we're not informed, then we just aren't making the decisions we would otherwise.
Right, and by censoring, you're only in bold. You claim to be like they claim to be against conspiracy theories and by censoring, you're only bolstering all that.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing I would say. And we might disagree with this, but I'm of the belief that corporations are also entitled to free speech.
Absolutely.
And so as long as corporations are entitled to free speech, having these apps where huge amounts of information is circulated every day, you're almost always going to have those corporations implementing their freedom of speech to sway the election in some way. They're always going to. They don't even have to lie about information.
Right, but let's have the information out there.
They could just put some information to the front while drawing other information to the back. So I don't think we'll see any disagreement on that. All I'm saying is that I think that these things should be publicly owned. And in respect to Congress pressing Mark Zuckerberg,
as we talked about real quick,
yeah.
About publicly owned, you can continue. I'm sorry, but there's obvious pitfalls with public owned as well because we're dealing with them already. We're dealing with literally totalitarian censorship and election meddling with publicly owned.
I don't know if I disagree. I don't know if I agree with that. We can get into that, of course, after this because I think that this is something that 99%. We're 99% of the way there. We both kind of agree on this pretty much in entirety. But what we have to do is if we have two options and both have flaws to them, we just have to pick the shinier of the two turds, in my opinion, because that's all that's viable.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to get into what you said about the totalitarian.
When it comes, real quick, before you get into that, when it comes to the shiniest of the two turds, like where do you fall along that? I wonder, because I kind of feel the same way, and I fall a certain way for reasons. I'm just curious what yours are.
Where do I fall in regards to what exactly?
To picking the shiniest turd.
Yeah, I think the shiniest turd is to have these massive media outlets owned publicly. Okay. I think that at least that way we have some kind of chance at holding them accountable when they do things that are inappropriate. And
the only chance we've had to hold them accountable, though, is Elon Musk doing what he's doing with his massive, endless amounts of money. Like,
Right.
otherwise,
in
we'd be powerless.
In the scenario, because we can say that Elon Musk, he appears like a good person, but we don't truly know anybody. Like, we don't truly know what's in the deep recesses of their mind. I mean,
True, but we can make a judgment based on past actions. And I know there are people on my own side who I dearly love and appreciate and agree with most of the time that hate Elon. So I know there are reasons, but
right. Yeah. So what I would ask you to entertain the thought of, even if you don't believe this would occur, if Elon Musk did begin pushing some kind of agenda on Twitter, whether it be politically or whether it be for his own financial gain, how exactly would you hold him accountable if he's the majority owner of Twitter?
I mean, that's true. That's absolutely true. I think that him doing that would probably kill Twitter in general and would kill the stock, and it would just I don't think he would play. I don't think that's his idea at all. I think his plan is to take it back to its original intention of an open platform for people to have, and it was the public square, and that's what he wants it to be. I mean, I think it's that simple, and I think that's what he's going to do. Okay. If he doesn't, then I think Twitter will fail and will crumble and will be MySpace within a year or two.
Sure. Okay. Do you worry about the precedent? Wait. Can I ask you one more small question? Do you worry at all about the precedent that it might set, even if we grant that Elon Musk has pure intentions? Do you worry that his contemporaries that might follow in his footsteps might not be so pure?
I mean, we already know that's the case because we have Bezos, Amazon owner, Jeff Bezos. He owns the Washington Post, and the Washington Post is a cesspool of Democrat Party propaganda. So, and you see that everywhere. I mean, look, our media is like 75% Democrat state media propaganda, 35%, Fox News. Well, more like 30% Fox News, and then the rest is Newsmax and OAN or whatever. But it's mostly like Democrat fucking shit out. Like, this shit is destroying our country. This is what my channel's about. I will talk about this shit endlessly because I think it's destroying this fucking country. Brian Stelter gets up there on CNN, talks about danger to democracy. He is the fucking danger to democracy.
Okay, sure. So, shoot, did we? I feel like you said.
Sorry, you were gonna talk about something. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No. I feel like there was something you said you wanted to ask me before we move on to.
I was gonna like switch topics. I was gonna ask about. I mean, I'm really interested in the whole like gender identity in schools and CRT in schools and that sort of line of subject. If you're interested in that.
Sure, I'm down.
Okay, well, what are your feelings on that? What are your feelings on CRT and teaching young children like kindergarten through like third grade about gender identity and trans and all that stuff?
See, here's my thought on CRT. I think that you would agree with this. I think that CRT being available as a higher education course that adults with the ability to consent to taking those courses, I think that's okay.
Yeah,
I think you would agree with me.
Yeah, mostly, but my brain, like, it's like my wanting to be a diplomatic kind of brain wants to say that, but then like at the back of my mind, the back of my brain knows that this shit is toxic as fuck and is like Nazism. It may as well be Nazism.
Sorry, remind me, which elements of CRT exactly? Because there might be something I don't know about that actually is cancerous.
Well, so you got CRT, the legal theory, first of all, which is like the baseline for what trickles down into what we see, these curriculums that are derived from all that comes from. But so you got CRT, critical race theory, which is essentially critical theory, but with race. And critical theory was a Marxist concept where it broke down. And I'm really simplifying, like going through quickly here. And I'm not by any means an expert on this shit. I'm still learning myself, but So you got critical theory, which is what CRT was based on. And critical theory, essentially, the way that critical race theory breaks down society and the way law is distributed out to people and justice based on race. Critical theory breaks it down based on class. And just incidentally, critical theory was used as a pretext for the murder of millions of people during the Maoist revolution, and now we, out of nowhere, it just started happening. This critical race theory, which has been around a while, in the periphery where it belongs, and then all of a sudden it's injected into everything in our society, our institutions, everywhere. And to question it, they come after you. And so CRT is. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm kind of rambling here, but essentially CRT is, it's explaining the way minority, non-white people are treated in our society, and it basically attributes race to all of that, and it goes further actually, and basically says that people, if you're black or brown or non-white in this country, that you are going to be oppressed. If you're white, you're born an oppressor, and that's where it starts getting weird. And we can get more into that stuff. Okay, yeah.
So here's the thing. I think that. So, I've heard that critical race theory, or at least similar ideologies, try to designate people as oppressed or oppressor. I think it's a little nuanced than that. I think that obviously nobody's born racist, and I don't think that 99% of the population is out there waking up thinking racist thoughts, obviously. So I think it's a very reductive way to view things. As far as my thoughts on CRT, as far as my thoughts on the way that it explains how minority groups are treated in America based on their race, I buy into some of it. I don't buy into all of it. So for example, if we wanted to talk about potential bias in stopping people, or potential bias in sentencing, I think there's a legitimate discussion to be had there. And it's not actually, and here's how nuanced it is, that I don't think people who advocate for CRT maybe touch up on, but often when people cite articles explaining biases in sentencing, or even biases in who looks guilty or not according to polls, it's not just white people that fall into these biases. It's also black people, it's Hispanic people, it's Asian people.
It's a human
so
thing. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think that there are some racial biases that we fall into. It's possible that I have my own racial biases, and I try to reduce them as much as I can. But I don't think that this makes us horrible people. I don't think it makes us oppressors.
It shouldn't be focused on at all. It's just like humans being humans, and like it gets fucking like weird and cultish when you start like being worried about how you're naturally feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if we are to talk about this, though, if we are to have this conversation, I don't think it progresses anything to focus on who has what designation. I think that if we agree that there is some racial bias, be it natural or not, we should talk about how we should change it, or how we should effectively reduce that.
Okay. Well,
I think
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, I would say I would agree with you if we do it and we teach it like that, not like white people like invented racism and they're like genetically predisposed to like rape. Like that shit's insane. It's like, no, that's obviously not gonna fix anything. It's just gonna like continue the cycle, exactly. Right? It's like
I think that I think there is a victim complex that's kind of manifested, especially online. You'll see people say that they'll put their mental illnesses and all their identities on their Twitter bio, right, and all that shit. I think that's really hard. I think that's really toxic.
That should people need to wake up, because all this shit's like really cult-like behavior.
I get it.
I
get it. And you know what? I try to spend some time in those places, and I think that a lot of these people, I don't think they really believe the things they say. I think a lot of the more far radical left things that people say, like white people invented racism, I think that it's just a fact that it's become trendy to become very, very, very progressive. And I think people try to fit into that trend. And I think that's unhealthy, especially for people who actually do think that there are problems in society.
I agree.
So I don't think...
I'll give you an example of this. Like, I would be called a right winger by most people on the left, and yet I totally agree that like there's an issue with police in this country, and like that we need to deal with law enforcement in general, and like just ignorance of people's rights, and just in general, people that should not be in those positions being there. Like, there needs to be better training in all of this, and you'll never get an argument from me about that. But
Yeah,
like when you
absolutely.
start trying to make it about like race, like I know enough about the subject to know that like police fuck over people of all colors. Like, they don't give a shit about like what color you are.
Yeah.
And so like when they try to make it about race and it's black people are being specifically hunted and all this, like if anything, I feel like that actually harms the opposition to that, because it's like dividing the opposition, right?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I'll tell you this. I think that there should be, we should be, this is really cringe of me to say, that we should be colorblind when it comes to policing, because I think that a lot of people really are fucked over by the police. I mean, there's bound to be some bad apples, and I think that the ways that we can correct those bad apples can be improved upon. And I think that, I mean, if let's say that somebody does think that there is a problem with policing and how police handle their encounters with black people, whether or not it's correct to do so, I think downplaying the severity of how police interactions can go with white people only serves to isolate white people. They feel like they have to push back against that.
Right.
And so I do think it harms our ability to improve how
like
police are corrected. Yeah.
Right. It's like, again, what we need is more open reporting from the media, more open, like honesty from the media. But instead, what they do is they're worried about like negative backlash on these oppressed communities. So like, we're just like gonna withhold information. We're gonna not like tell details about stories, and like people don't notice that. Like, they clearly see that like you're doing that. Like,
sure.
Perfect examples is like what happened to Waukesha with that Christmas parade, and like this latest guy who just like mowed people down. He didn't kill anybody, thank God, but like he was hunting down like white people and like Jewish people and Asians, you know, in that subway in New York. And yet it's like the whole Asian hate movement that we saw sort of start springing up and then quickly died down, because it turned out
have you heard,
like the people attacking Asians are black people.
Like, have you heard anybody talk about that in the past several months?
No, obviously
Me
not.
neither.
Like, and Jewish people too. Like, Jewish people are being like randomly attacked by black people, and it's like, unless the villain is a white man, like the media doesn't care, and people see that. I noticed that as a dude. That's like one of the things that converted me from like a left winger to whatever I am now. I wouldn't just say a right winger or whatever, but like, it's like clearly they're ignoring these things for political reasons, you know?
I do think so as well, and I think that that's indefensible. When I do see people defend that, they try to say something like, okay, well, they talk about proportionality as it pertains to how black people are affected, and sure, true, there is a disproportionate we can talk about that, but
we can debate the reasons for that, right,
but whether or not that is a disproportionate thing that affects black people. If you were to, I promise you, if you were to meet a white person who was a victim of police brutality, and you told them that their experience individually didn't matter because that doesn't generally affect their racial group, that's very off-putting to people.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be. So I don't think you'll get that much pushback from me on the police stuff. I am curious, though, because I think you said, you could correct me if I'm wrong, that some of the tenets of CRT trickled down into public education. I'm not familiar with that. Could you tell me how that happens?
Yeah, I will definitely do that. Real quick, though, I had somebody give me a super chat and ask me to ask you, do you know Big Mike's real gender? I don't know what that means.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
I don't know what that means, but I had to ask because they. But anyway.
Yeah, cool.
So as far as CRT goes and how it's trickling down into schools, so what you're saying is like the CRT is like sort of the legal theory is, and this is another thing the media does that's just so dishonest and obvious. They're like, oh, CRT isn't in schools. It's a legal theory in college. It's not in school. But like, the thing is like derived curriculum from this baseline is in the schools. It's everywhere now. It's in all of our institutions, and that should worry people because it led to a Maoist the Maoist revolution in China, which led to millions and millions of people dead. So it should be concerning. But what you're seeing in schools is you're seeing a lot of just white people being made to be feel guilty and shame. People are born racist. You have to somehow like absolve yourself of this guilt, which is really like weird and religious. Like you have original sin that you have to give up to God. It's weird. There's a lot of weirdness to that, and it's also very much weird. Like struggle sessions. In Maoist, China, or in a lot of different communist revolutions, but they have these struggle sessions, and it's a lot like that. But you're seeing that a lot in schools. You're seeing a lot of like this concept of equity, equity everywhere. Isn't it weird how we went from talking about equality to equity suddenly? It just sort of switched to that.
May I interject?
Go ahead. Sorry.
So obviously I haven't been out of I haven't been out of public education for that long. And obviously my experience doesn't encapsulate everybody's experience, but personally to me, I never felt as if we were being taught that we needed to hate white people, or that white people were evil or bad people. And I'm sure I have seen some examples of this. I'm sure that there are a few examples of this being taught in schools, maybe by really extreme teachers, because teachers are human beings. They fuck up a lot. But
have you ever seen Libs of TikTok on Twitter?
Of what?
Libs of TikTok on Twitter. It's a she actually. That channel focused on just showing teachers who uploaded video to TikTok. It was just like extreme crazy, like groomer, far left, gay shit.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it
and
at all.
they got banned recently by Twitter, by the way. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All I'm saying by that, all I mean to say by that is, I don't know how we can quantify how much of a problem this is, because I don't know how many schools currently implement that into their curriculum. And what I'll meet you on is that I think that.
You a link. Good.
Sure. So what I'll meet you on is that I do think that when these things happen, because I don't doubt they happen, because there are crazy people out there, we do need to call it out, because we don't want to go down that slippery slope where it becomes progressively more normal. But on the other hand, I'll open this link real quick, actually, and go through this.
I just gave you, just so you know, I linked you a thread to a guy named on Twitter named Christopher Rufo. He is probably the leading CRT. He's very well versed on all of it. Him and a guy named James Lindsay, by the way. But this is a thread that he made that just goes and very much details how critical race theory is being pushed through K through 12.
Yeah, and I want to make it very clear that I have just as much of a incentive to combat crazy people, because I mean, obviously I fall into the side of the political spectrum that does believe that racism is a problem in some facets of our society.
Absolutely,
and
for sure.
Yeah, and having crazy people that would claim to be on my side really does make it harder for my side of the aisle. Yeah,
right. Like I'm all for it's funny. Like they claim to be anti-racist. Like I'm an actual anti-racist. They are fake anti-racist. They think anti-racism is justified, rationalized racism against white people. They think that's what anti-racism is. But like actual anti-racism is actually just treating all human beings like you want to be treated, and not like, it's pretty simple. But like it's not that simple to them. They got all this fucking snake oil gobbledygook rhetoric to like justify.
So when people are online and they're telling a white kid that he's a fucking cracker and he should kill himself, and then you're like, hey, that's a little racist, and they're like, well, actually,
I'm not even talking about that shit. I'm talking about like there's a lot of other shit maybe you're not considering. Like do you realize how many like so-called hate crimes are perpetrated like on university campuses around this country, and all that turn out to be completely fucking bullshit. Like they're false flags that are meant to make white people look like they're like these racist monsters out there, and it justifies motherfuckers like Wakasha and this guy in New York in the subway to shoot fucking and try to kill white people. Like, and there's all this shit you don't even hear about. Like, not just white people either, Asians and Jewish people. And it's like white supremacy. Like, I'm against it. Like, I'm against, but it just to me doesn't seem like the pressing issue in this country. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think these people are awful. Like, you won't get any pushback.
Like. They talk about the wage gap between white people and black people all the time, and it's like, that's bad. We definitely need to like do something. I
I'm
don't know
looking-
what. I don't know what the answer is. It's not what we're doing.
Me
but
neither.
I don't know what we need to do. But like, there is a huge wage gap between Asians and white Americans, and Asians and Black Americans. Like, Asian Americans in this country
aren't
are
Asians
way
in
out
this-
earning and way out graduating white people.
Yeah, they are.
So,
they
like,
are. I was about to say,
Is that not a
Asians
problem?
are-
Like, like what is a white person in this country supposed? And it's funny that I talk like this because 20 years ago, if
No,
I heard
I like
myself
the
like, "Oh my
enthusiasm.
God, you're a racist, insane person," like,
Yeah, look, I like the enthusiasm. I really do. And look, also, I want to acknowledge that I am looking through this thread that this person put up, and from us, at face value, this is pretty fucked up. I mean, Jesus Christ.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm saying at face value, I'm prefacing that because I can't like read literally all the articles he's linking right now because I'd be very
Right,
rude
of
to
course,
you, and
of
I will
course.
do it later tonight.
Right.
But at face value, this is pretty fucked up, and I will condemn these people openly. There's no problem with that.
There are recordings out there. I'll see if I can find it here real quick of various different school districts and like superintendents talking to principals and shit about how like their white students are feeling like they're marginalized, like they're feeling like they're being otherized and like being turned into like these evil things that they are not. And it's like, shit, dude, I could have told you this was gonna happen when I was in high school. Like that's when I started realizing it. It's like, man, the way they're teaching this and like there's no context to anything and like it's very like black and white. This is not gonna end well. And like here we are, you know.
Sure.
And I
think
want
we've
us
met
all
each
getting
other-
along. Like I don't hate anybody.
Right. Look, I think we've met each other fairly well because I don't think our viewpoints are that dissimilar. I think that you would agree because you brought up the interesting point about the critical race theory trickling down into
Yeah.
the curriculums of K through 12. I think you would agree with me that if we can mitigate that and condemn that when that does happen, that it's okay for college students only to take that. I think that's fine. I would condemn people that are trying to make white kids feel bad in K through 12. That's obviously okay.
It's not,
And I think
it's
we
not
both
okay.
agree that and I think we both agree that to some extent at least there's racism in our society. I mean,
Absolutely.
I-
There's open race. I mean, look, racism against anybody is bad, but like we definitely all fully as a country, I think for the most part, condemn racism against most people.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to white people, like we almost pretend like it's not even there. And they academically they say that it's impossible to be racist to white people. So like
I think that and that's really fucking God, I wish people would stop trying to put academic arguments and discourse into the public eye because it never fucking goes well. Because I would consider these to be very theoretical positions that I don't think are applicable to everyday life.
Yeah,
So,
totally. I totally get. I know what you're saying. It's like weird, like academic, like debate talk, but like it's bled into somehow into like the real world. Right. It's like there's no scrutiny or criticism of these views, which is the problem.
Right.
Like, and if you try to, they call you racist. But somebody real quick before, and I'm gonna like take a little break here real quick. But Doc Holliday ask him if he's fine paying twice as much for gas and the coming food shortages and sending billions of dollars to protect Nazis.
All right. Well, I don't know. What
I
the
guess
last-
this is about a Biden question. All right. Do you support
okay.
Biden?
Well, do I support Biden?
Yeah. Are you? Well,
I
you may have voted for him. You may have supported him at first, but like, how do you feel now?
I don't feel that great about him.
Yeah.
To answer the first question about gas, look, I'm a Honda owner, but I'm still feeling that shit.
Really?
Yeah,
Honda owner, huh?
yeah.
Where do you live?
Honda.
If you don't mind me asking. General area.
Just general East Coast. Yeah, I was born in California. Though.
I live very close to the Honda plant. Just
okay.
yeah.
As you know, what when it comes to Biden, you'd have to ask me specifically, I guess, because obviously I did find him preferable to Trump, but that doesn't mean I like him on his own.
Yeah, not a lot to like there. He's pretty just he should not be there. I feel bad for him almost. Like he's a man that's clearly should not be in there. Like, why is he there?
I've seen
over.
clips of him. I've seen clips of him stuttering. It's not even stuttering. He's just saying
way
words that
beyond
don't
that.
make sense.
Yeah,
it's
way
just
beyond.
words
He
that
tried to shake
aren't-
hands with nobody the other day. Like,
so my bar was very low for Biden. I feel like it's hard to actually have handled the COVID situation worse than Trump did. So that's not even really a credit to Biden insult as much as it is an insult to Trump.
Well, at least he got the vaccine out, which I haven't taken it, but
yeah, he did.
And I probably
so I will credit him with that. The vaccine program, that was his thing. I just think that there were some areas where I'm very critical of him. It seems it seems beyond unacceptable for America. The most I think pretty much everybody would agree is one of, if not the greatest country in the world, to be pretty average in terms of how it's handled COVID. I'm pretty sure South Korea is doing better than us, and they were closer.
I'll say this about South Korea. Fauci himself, who I'm not a big fan of, said that to compare America to South Korea is not fair because they're very different countries. And
I wouldn't say they're equal, but I would say they're comparable, if that makes sense. And I mean, I think that it says something that South Korea was so much closer to the origin of the virus than America, and still did pretty well, I think, all things considered.
Yeah, well, hey man, I had a great convo with you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. I appreciate it.
Okay, likewise, yeah. It was awesome talking to you.
I have to take a bathroom break, so I'm going to stop, and I'm going to tell my viewers that I'm going to get some new people to debate here, but just give me a minute, and man, check it out. Check out my channel. Hey, I'd love to have you. Yeah. I have a Discord server. If you go to my channel, you'll see there's a Discord server. Man, I'd love to have like more chats with you. That'd be cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll join, definitely. I'll give you a subscription. Okay, cool.
Late.
Peace.
All right, guys. I'll be right back.
Wow. Wait, hey, yo, he got a YouTube play button. Hey, yo. Okay, we're going on.
Hello? Oh, is that a YouTube plaque? I want to know, am I being watched? Am I being watched by like a stream? Because this seems like a whole streamer setup, you know, with the mic, the gaming chair, and or I'm just probably speaking to myself. But I wish I could read, like, what YouTube plaque is that? Fuck, I can't. I hope if they're streaming, I'm allowed to swear. I apologize if someone's watching and like I'm swearing. Oh, I hear something. Someone coming back. I hear voices. Is it a duder? Oh, hello.
Oh, what's up, Ed?
Hello. Oh, what's up? Sorry, I was trying to read the YouTube plaque, then the back, and I couldn't like get close enough to like actually read the YouTube channel, the channel name.
It's Dronetek.
Dronetek. Okay. Okay. How many? What's the plaque? 100K?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks.
Wait, okay. So what do you do? What do you want to debate? What are you on here for? I'm assuming you have content you want to film.
Well, I'm live streaming right now. Actually, I was just taking a little bathroom break and grabbing a new beer.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm live streaming right now. It's only we're down to 76 people at the moment, but it'll probably go back up. Yeah, just I don't know. Where do you fall politically on the spectrum?
I would say I'm a liberal, like a sock dem is what Americans would say, right?
Okay, all right, that's cool. So what do you think about like I don't know, what do you think about like critical race theory?
In what sense? What do you got to direct me somewhere?
Okay, well, what do you think about like critical race theory?
I'm fine with it.
Are you? Like it critical race theory says that you are inherently a bad
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why are you okay
Does
with that?
That's not really what critical race theory says.
Well, okay, well, here's what I'll say is
Because I
that
don't believe that's what critical race theory says.
okay, well, yeah, it does. I mean, so people that derive their rhetoric, or in the case of schools, curriculum, from critical race theory's beliefs or tenets, are definitely put white people as oppressors and everybody else as the oppressed, for sure. So essentially, critical race theory is derived.
Context when you talk.
So critical race theory is derived from critical theory, and critical theory breaks society down by classes. And critical race theory basically does the exact same thing, but does it by race. It's race Marxism.
Yes, and I think yeah, I guess you could view it from that perspective, but critical race theory, in my mind, as I know it, is there to explain, the racial dynamics from a critical point of view, and how the racial dynamics in certain situations and certain historic events played a role in what might have happened, and give an explanation for the narrative. Because history is all about building a narrative. So, yes, in certain contexts, especially in America, where 150 years ago, some very bad things happened, and I hope you would agree with that. You might disagree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No argument for me on that.
And
or of teaching those things in schools. I am fine with that, 100%.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. As far as what I've read from critical race theory, it only aims to talk about race relationships and their roles that they played in these narratives. And unfortunately for white people in America's history, white people played a very oppressive role. And when you want to tell the truth to children, and want to educate them, you want them to know the entire truth. You want to know all perspectives.
And I agree with that.
So I believe it plays an important role.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and I agree that, well, first of all, CRT should play no role whatsoever in any of that, but that history should be taught. But here's the thing, and it's not currently taught, and it wasn't when I was in school, the full context, and it is taught very black and white, where white people bad, black people oppressed, everybody oppressed, white people bad, and it's not that black and white. There obviously is a lot of nuance in that when it comes to slavery, especially because, first of all, African slavery was worldwide. It was in the Middle East. It was in South America. It was much larger in both those places than it was America. And when it came to America, it was actually very few white Americans per capita owned slaves. So and when it comes to white Americans that came in the 1800s and stuff, none of these people own slaves or have any connection to that. And so the way they teach it currently is very divisive. It basically gives people who may already hate white people a rationalization, justification to do so. Black nationalists, black hate groups, or whatever you want to talk about. It gives them all the justification they need, and that's mainstream. That would be giving Nazis or the KKK mainstream justification for their beliefs. So I think that is a problem.
I don't think it's getting justification for the beliefs. I do agree with the idea that it might be giving platform to some beliefs that others might consider not disgusting, but that others might consider vile or bad or harmful. Harmful is a good word to use. But we believe, Americans believe very much in free speech. I believe very much all perspectives should be taught, and if we consider those perspectives to be harmful, then sure, we can talk about those harmfulness, take them into account, and realize why this perspective is faulty in explaining certain problems that we face today. I think it's important to know where we were in critical race theory, what happened in the past, where we are today, and how we intend to move to the future.
The only problem is
critical race theory.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I would just say that the only problem there is I would agree with you, except for the people that kind of go out there, let's say Ibrahim X Kendi, and they will deny that he is a CRT person, but he's defended it, and he's clearly derived his whole belief system, which is very fallible, easily debunked. I mean, it's total snake oil. But for some reason, this guy has risen to prominence. It's very odd. I mean, the guy has been asked to define racism, and he can't even do that without saying it's racism. All right, he's a fucking idiot. But like, this guy has said that like the only way to fix discrimination is with past discrimination is with current discrimination, or I think he says present discrimination. And the idea is we're gonna fix racism by being racist against white people. And here are all these justifications for doing that, and why you can't be racist to white people. So don't worry about that. That's what equity is. It's racism against white people, but telling yourself it's not racist.
I would wholeheartedly disagree, but I do agree with the idea that terms such as racism that have been diluted in the discourse today. I mean, it's really hard
why would you disagree?
to understand what racism really is. Racism gets thrown around a lot. A lot of people get called racist for acts or behaviors that can be explained in any other way.
Right.
I mean, when people disagree with the candidate for their views, and the candidate happens to be a black woman, for example, people might argue and say, oh, it's because she's a black woman and stuff like that. But I believe that educated people are able to look through that lens and understand that these are faulty ideas and shouldn't be, promoted.
Well, I'm glad that you, as an educated person, I'm glad that you, as an educated person, can see that, and you sound yourself very sensible, and so like I agree with what you're saying. But in this country, the educated people, the elite, they are fucking morons, and they believe the exact opposite, and they think that, everything that you just said there, they believe.
I agree that from your perspective. I think I believe in your perspective. You might deem these people morons or stupid because it's really hard to define what is intelligent because they disagree with something you say,
right. So
you consider it stupid.
You're right.
But that doesn't mean the ideas are invalid. So ideas in critical race theory, yes, some of them might sound stupid, but some of them have some validity underneath that we might need to look at as a society.
Here's the thing: is that what's coming out of it? We should have a solid principle of like you treat people like you want to be treated, and we're not going to treat people differently based on race. We're not going to have collective punishment or judgment based on race. We're not going to do this kind of things. We're going to all coexist together with mutual respect. That's not what we're dealing with, though. We're dealing with like we want collective judgment, we want collective punishment, we want equity, and so we want the government to use force to enforce essentially what will be racism against a group of people in order to uplift another group of people is what's going to happen. That's what we're already watching.
I want to.
So it's like there's no real principle at play. Like we're not going by any principle, and so it's not going to have a good outcome, right? I want what you want, but I want it to continue.
But do you think critical race theory, as it stands now in America, will be removed from American school systems in the future? Do you think it will be eventually removed?
I hope so, but because first of all, where did it come from? Why is it above scrutiny and criticism? Why didn't it get any scrutiny or criticism before it got injected in the first place? Like, where is this even coming from? Like, why is it coming? Why is it there in the first place? Like, that should be the question. But that's not the question, and which makes it even more fucked up. It should not be there. Hopefully it's not there. If it is, this country's going to civil war within a decade. Because that's what it's intended to do.
We have forms of
that's
education
what it's meant to do.
In which we criticize. We have in America. I hope we have. There are forms of education that are meant to teach children, young, unimpressionable children, how to critically think in certain areas of their lives, how to decipher data, how to decipher information, how to decipher relationships. We call these different subjects different things, such as PE. That's deciphering physical, social interactions with others, learning how to be a real human. That's essentially what school is, educating our young communities. critical race theory, in my mind, won't be currently removed from the American system. However, we can improve on critical race theory and make it similar to other, like, literature criticism, where we look at old literature. We know H.P. Lovecraft was a racist when he wrote most of his books.
Wait a second.
However,
Hold on right there.
Yeah,
I'm a huge H.P.
yeah, you can
Lovecraft
stop me,
fan,
go
so
for it.
anyway, we could go on a whole other separate rant
Same,
about that.
same.
Oh, are you? Okay. I am.
No, but
Normally I
yeah,
wear a
I
Cthulhu
love-
shirt, but
I
go ahead.
can. Yeah, but the thing is, like, we can go on a whole rant about how racist he is. However, we can still enjoy his work. We can understand that critical race theory, yes, back in the past, it was used to criticize white people for their bad behavior in a very negative way that influenced younger children. But I don't believe that critical race theory present in American education today is solely aimed at making white individuals feel otherized.
Let me just explain to you in just a quick microcosm before we depart why, like, you're not seeing this, I think, fully, like, from the right perspective, is that you said we can look at H.P. Lovecraft's work and we can still like him although he's a racist. And the fact that you would say that as an H.P. Lovecraft fan tells me maybe you haven't fully read his stuff, because if you did, you would see that really when you talk about H.P. Lovecraft, what you see is an evolution. You see a guy who maybe started out with some racist views, but then over time changed his views, and that's what you would see in his work. And yet you choose to see
What
like
I mean,
this. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, I wholly agree. I mean, just like in the past, we criticize people for old tweets a lot of the time. However, like we understand that as a society, we progress on societal ideals. Back in the 1890s, it was very obvious to write really incorrect and erroneous fallacious things about like race theory and stuff like that. Things we consider horrendous today, like bigger brain size, genetic brain size means you're smarter as a race or whatever stuff, you know. However, as we build on that theory and as we become better society, I believe critical race theory and academia has improved a lot over the last 10 years, and I think that will eventually come to school systems as books get rewritten and rewritten. We understand that by harming and otherizing white children, we might be excluding them from the in-group, which the in-group in America, the goal, I believe, should be all Americans are in the same in-group. We're all in the struggle together, you know?
Exactly.
That's
Which seems like the common, like, brain dead, like, obvious answer, but other people in this country have other agendas, and that's the problem. But hey, sir, I appreciate your talk. I really enjoyed it. I've actually had a couple good liberal talks here, and you're one of them. You should definitely go. If you go to my channel, you'll see there's a Discord link. Go to the Discord if you ever want to like chat with me again. We'll do this again,
bro. Anytime. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.
You too, man.
Well, I don't know what time it is, but cheers, bro.
You too, man. Thanks. It was fun. All right, guys, we're moving on. Oh, who is
they
this person?
live when we sleep? Will we sleep?
Yep.
Well, you got a YouTube channel? What's your YouTube channel?
It's Dronetek. Dronetek.
Alright, type that in.
What?
Dronetek?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about drones or something like that?
No.
But let me see.
It's a long story, the name. I just held on to it. But yeah.
So what you be talking about?
Mostly a media watchdog kind of stuff, but everything, man.
So I'm here on your live stream right now?
You're on my live stream right now. Yeah, you're on my live stream.
Ooh.
So who you support then?
I support, I don't know. Who do you support?
Well, I support, if you tell me first.
I would say probably from your perspective, maybe I'm a center right person.
A center right? Okay. That's respectable.
Yeah, I'm
a liberal.
I would say I'm like an old school liberal, they say, you know.
I'm kind of like a new liberal.
No, that's not good. New liberals are fucking communists.
Well, I don't really believe. I'm not saying I believe in everything they say. I just believe in some.
All right. Well, that's good.
You know,
I had come up with a great question for my next person. I fucking forgot.
What's the next question? What's the question?
I'm trying to think of it. I had thought of it like at the end of my last interview with the last person. Oh man, what were we talking about? Let's see. Let's see here. What do you think is the difference between equality and equity?
Well, what's equity?
Equity. Like, what is equity? Well, I would say, simplified down, equity is using, at least in the case that we're going to be talking about, it's going to be using government force to affect outcomes.
Well,
To manufacture outcomes.
I think, like, what is the difference, or like, what was the question?
What's the difference between equality and equity?
Well, the equality is just like everyone's treated the same. I guess you could say, in like.
Right. Well, basically, equality, I would say, and this the way we're talking about is everybody with equal opportunity, regardless of who they are or what they are, and equity is government enforced outcomes. Or
yeah.
So, like, which one would you support? Like, which one?
I feel like, well, it depends, like, it depends, like, if what the government, what are they enforcing? Like, it really depends on, like, what are they, like, trying to enforce.
Well, so you'd be okay with equity?
If on certain, like, if it's, like, you know, something I believe in, yeah, but if it's, like, something like.
Well, what's something you believe in?
Well, I think, I don't know, give me anything, like,
yeah, tell me. I don't know what you believe in.
Like, if it's a human right thing, like if something human rights are like if like it was interfering with someone's human rights, I think.
Like, what kind of human right?
Maybe, let's say, like, I mean, I would say, like if it's like, I'd say, you know, living, you know, someone to live, someone to get a free job, or like, you know,
We're moving on from that guy. I'm moving on. I feel bad. He was a nice guy. I'm moving on, though. Pause while you move your mouse. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a minute, guys. Hey, I want to say thank you for all of you hanging out, watching this channel. It's been going on for a while. Oh, we're going. Never mind. We are live again. I've got no neck. Hello, how you doing? All right, move it on. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this stream tonight? Let me know in the chat.
Fuck, he didn't do shit to you. Shut the fuck up. No.
What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this stream? Let me know. If you like this idea, I'm gonna keep doing this every weekend. If you like it. That guy was nice. Everybody I've met tonight has been very nice, I gotta say. They've been very nice. I've had some interesting conversations. I've really liked it, to be honest. I thought this was gonna be a freak show. It's actually been pleasantly, I've been pleasantly surprised here. It's been actually really cool people. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good. So you know you're on a YouTube stream right now.
Oh, awesome.
So, you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You're the one running the channel.
So, where do you fall politically?
I'm kind of like right-leaning a bit. More
Okay.
like libertarian than I am like conservative, though.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we are on the same side.
Oh, okay.
But what do you do? You're just on here just debating for fun?
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of tags on. Debate's just one of them.
Okay, that's cool. All right, man. Well, have a good night.
You too. Hope you find someone.
This is fun. I like this stuff, man. I really do. I'm having fun with this. It was like 2 weeks ago I had the idea. Hello, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Sir, how are you doing?
Okay, I'll go ahead and accept the royal y'all.
You're right. Oh yeah, man. Oh man, where's the women? It's all dudes. What's up, man?
Hi.
You want to debate?
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, you are on a YouTube channel right now. Just so you know, live streamed.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to tell you. I don't know where do you fall politically on the spectrum?
Pretty left. Not
Pretty
really
left?
left.
Okay, that's cool.
Like center.
How old are you? How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 18.
Okay, well that explains it. No, I'm just kidding. So I'll just start off with something you may know about. How do you feel about Elon Musk possibly buying Twitter?
I don't hate him. I'm also not obsessed with him. I don't really give a fuck, honestly.
Really? You don't give a fuck about Elon Musk? Well, let me just tell you, he's a pretty cool motherfucker, man. He's inventing shit and getting humans into space, and someday you may be able to like go to Mars thanks to Elon Musk. It'd be pretty cool. Anyway,
my dad actually works with Elon.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool. What does he do? Like work with the car plant?
I'm from Egypt.
Okay.
And my dad's in charge of. My dad imports Teslas to Egypt.
Oh, hell yeah! There you go. Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you think? What do you care about politically? Like, what kind of makes you interested in arguing?
Something. Where are you from? U.S.
I'm from Ohio. Yeah, America.
Yeah. Something. Abortion.
Where do you live? Where are you from?
I live in Egypt.
Oh, okay. It's funny. It's so funny you say that because I just was talking to my wife tonight about Egypt because I watched a video on YouTube about Egypt. I was just talking to her about it. It's interesting. What do you think about Egypt?
Egypt's great.
Do you like it? What do you think about Egypt and how they treat tourists?
Depends on what part of Egypt you're talking about.
Yeah, that could be for sure. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are parts of Cairo where they could be very aggressive towards tourists.
Yeah. Yeah, that's same here. I'd like to go to Egypt sometime. You said abortion. I'm not super like big on abortion. Like, I'm not religious. I was raised Catholic, but I am not personally. I'm not very Catholic, and but I do understand that, like, you know, a human life is a human life, and so I do have some objections to abortion based on that. I think that especially late term is, you know, if it's got a heartbeat, I think that's pretty much murder, to be honest.
How would you feel if there was potential threat to the mother's life?
That's different, obviously. I think there are exceptions. Obviously, if the mother's life is in danger or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. But most pro-life people are just anti-abortion in general.
Yeah, I'm not totally. I mean, obviously there are reasons that it would come, but I think that, you know, aborting a baby is murdering a human life. Especially if it's just done out of convenience. You know, you just don't. You have sex, you make that decision, you get pregnant, and then you're just like, oh man, I can't do it. I don't know. It just seems messed up to me. But again, I'm not a woman, so I don't have to actually carry a baby either. So yeah, I don't like I don't talk about that a lot on my channel, abortion. Although I do think it's not necessarily the right thing, but there are reasons for it.
That's nice.
Let's see here. I made some notes of other things. Okay, let's go. I don't blame him. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's your
Man, I want to talk to some like liberal girls. The other night I was talking to like several, like everybody. They were all left-wing chicks. Hey, what's up?
They live, we sleep.
Yeah.
For
It's hard, right?
What you drinking there?
Drink a little hazy, Stone Hazy IPA.
Never heard of it before. That
Pretty
goes
good.
crazy, man.
I got this though too, just like you.
Mine's a dispo rib.
Mine, I don't know what it is. I just drink out of it. I like your background though. That's pretty cool.
I love Patrick Bateman.
He's cool. Cool movie. I love horror in general. But
best movie. Oh,
yeah,
so
great
good.
movie. So, do you like to debate? Do you want to debate?
Yeah, give me something to debate about.
You are on a YouTube channel, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, her. Okay, awesome. Just want to clarify. I don't know where I am on my beliefs at all. I just want to learn more.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's not many people. Hold on. Sorry. Where would you put yourself, like, politically?
Thing is, I've been everywhere,
Yeah.
and I don't honestly everything. I feel like everything I do is like somehow a part of irony. You know, like I feel like I'm just saying that because it's funny, but I don't even know where I stand anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
That's.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I can get that. So, like, where would you stand if we were to try and gauge you? Like, where would you stand on, like, Elon Musk buying Twitter?
I feel like it's none of my business if like he can do it if he wants.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Like, where would you stand on, like, when it comes? Do you have any kids?
No.
No. Okay. Well, where would you stand on, like, when it came to education? Where would you stand on, like, gender identity and, like, critical race theory and things like that being in the education system?
I feel critical race theory. I feel like it shouldn't be taught at schools. I feel like they should go out and learn about it, or their parents can tell them about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, and, like, I think most people are okay with history being taught and, like, you know, even history of racism being taught, but, like, critical race theory itself is more like this weird ideology, you know? Like, maybe it shouldn't be in the schools. Just like the same people who are not okay with critical race theory being in schools probably wouldn't be okay with Christianity being in schools, which I'm also okay with. Like, you probably shouldn't be, you know? Anyway, yeah, we probably agree with more than we disagree, so it probably wouldn't be very interesting, but it was cool talking to you. I like your background for sure. It's so cool. And your ears. Very cool ears. The chat right now is everybody's loving your ears, so. All right.
Thanks.
Have a good night. I'm looking for more, guys. All right. I'm going to go over like maybe 20 more minutes and I'm done. I'm missing UFC for you guys right now. I'm missing the best UFC fights, the main event fights tonight for this. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, no. Nothing. Nothing. Just saw a white man. Hey, what's up? Oh, she froze. That's not good. She's like, nope, F you, dude. You'll debate me, huh? Well, why don't you come on Omegle and debate me? Last snitch. Hey, or wait, me. If you'll debate me, come on my Discord. I'll debate you. Hey, what's
You
up?
again?
Hey, man, what's up?
Why'd you skip me, bro?
Hey.
You don't gotta skip me like last time. I was thinking about something. You just gotta skip me like that.
Hey, whoever me is, come to Discord and I will debate you. I will debate anybody. Hey, what's up,
They
man?
live,
What's up?
they live, we sleep. Is
Yeah.
that like a reference to that anti-Semitic movie?
Anti-Semitic? They live is anti-Semitic?
That movie is anti-Semitic. Don't you know that all the aliens are supposed to be Jews?
What if they were all white?
They're all Jews.
What if they were all white though? Because like I thought like the conspiracy theory is that white people would control everything and hold everybody
See,
down.
are you an anti-Semite?
No, I love Jewish people. I don't hate anybody, so no.
So why do you like this anti-Semitic movie so much?
Well, for one, just so you know, you're on a YouTube channel right now, and the YouTube channel is very anti-media, and the movie is very anti-media and portrays it in the way I think it actually exists. Actually, so yeah, not actually. It's not aliens controlling it, but it's definitely being controlled by whoever it may be.
And who are the aliens?
I don't know.
That look just like white
I don't think it's
people.
any particular group. I would say, if anything,
That control all the advertising and the media?
I would say right now, well, for one, I don't think it's any like group of people. It's definitely like an ideology at this point. It's
Zionism. You're an anti-Zionist.
I wouldn't say Zionism. I would say more Marxism or even communism.
Oh, they're communists.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, yeah. I mean, depending on who we're talking about here. If
They're
we're talking about
collectivizing the wealth for themselves.
Well, the
like
Democrats.
Karl Marx and Leon Trotsky. What do those two have in common? Ooh.
You're spicy, dude. What's up?
What? I'm not anti-Semitic. I just think you are because you look like one.
Seriously, I love Jewish people. I have no problem with Jewish people. I think they're great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like,
Name
look at my
one
channel,
Jewish
man.
person you like.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, you're an anti-Semite. Like the only Jew you like is like
Walter
a super
Cronkite.
conservative Jew.
Walter Cronkite.
You're just making people up now.
What? I'm making people up. Walter Cronkite, who is like one of the like most well-known journalists of all time.
Oh, journalists. Yeah. Mhm.
He did an interview with Walter Cronkite did an interview with what's his face? Does all the narrations. I forget his name all of a sudden. Did an interview with him and is talking to him about Black History Month, and he was like, would you want a Jewish History Month? Or I'm sorry, no, he was like, would you want a White History Month? He's like, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. Walter Cronkite did that.
Wow.
I don't know what this guy like. Jewish people are great. I have no problem with Jewish people. Just so we're very clear on that. What's up, man? Why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a mask? Hey, man, what's up? Blue collar barbershop. Hey, everybody on my stream, call this place right now. Give him a call.
I don't even work there. It's just a sweatshirt, but okay.
Hey, go ahead, guys. Call it. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, man?
Not much, dude. I'm just chilling, enjoying being outside, man.
Cool. Did he say later, bigot? He kept accusing me of hating Jewish people for some reason. I have no idea why, especially when I said I love Ben Shapiro. What's up?
They live, we sleep. Wait, what? Holy shit,
man.
you have a YouTube plaque.
Yeah.
Holy, are you famous? Like, what's your channel?
You're on a stream right now.
Oh, no way. Okay,
Yeah, right now. You are on a stream.
Wait, what's your channel called? I just want to see this.
It's Dronetek. God.
Wait, okay.
Person.
You talk about politics?
Yeah, man. Do you want to talk about politics?
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, you're probably gonna like destroy me if it's like a debate thing, but oh my god, it is. Holy crap. I'm just gonna look at myself. Holy shit, what the fuck? Okay, that's kind of okay, my bad.
There's like nobody watching anyway. There's like, it's too late. I started too late.
Like 95, but that's like decent.
Really?
It's like, what kind of politics does your channel showcase?
Well, I mean, I'm just like, I guess you would probably say more right-leaning.
Well, 8 things more popular at CNN. I'm just gonna read off your titles. Just want to see what this is like. Oh, see, okay.
Yeah,
Trump.
that one's not doing so good.
Exposed. I just want to see what.
I'm leaving that guy. He's annoying me. He's not talking to me about politics, so I must move on.
Shut the fuck.
Hey, man, if I come across you again and we'll debate, just come up with, figure out like where you're at so we can debate. Hey, what's up? All right, guys, I'm going to end this pretty soon. What time is it? It's fucking 11 o'clock. I'm almost done with this shit.
They live, we sleep.
Yes. People love this shirt. I'm glad I wore it. It's perfect. Hey, what's up, man? I want to talk to some like feminist chick, man. Where are they? Here. Hold on. I gotta change. Here. We're gonna make this more interesting, guys. Hold on. Hold on. No, stop. We're gonna make this more interesting. What other topics? Guys, give me another topic I want to talk about. What should I throw in here to make this more interesting? I got politics and debate in there right now. How about fun? How about chicks? Oh, hold on. No. You're in my Discord, are you? Hey. Man, you're coming in my Discord at 11 o'clock. I'm like worn out. I've been going for like 2 hours now. We're probably gonna have to do this another time, but I will bring you in for a little bit, maybe. Let me go do this real quick, guys. Hello. Hey, are you there?
I'm right here.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of coming in late. of like about to end this stream. Maybe we can do this another time. Like, what do you want to talk? What do you want to debate about?
I don't know. The things that you were asking people were pretty interesting. They were agreeing with you, and I was like, no.
About what?
When you were asking about critical race theory, when I first came onto your, clicked on your video, you and a guy were talking about abortion. And I'm like, great, two guys talking about abortion.
Well, you heard what I said, though, right?
I don't think so, actually, because I'm still, I'm still doing with my. I just finished a live stream.
Yeah, I basically said I didn't want to talk about it because there's a couple of guys talking about it.
Yeah, see, I couldn't tell if that was you or the guy that were talking. So, because I was looking at the. So yeah, if you're taking off for the night, then do that.
Yeah, I'm probably ending it, guys, to be honest. I've been going for like 2 hours. I'm kind of tired. I was watching UFC and I stopped to do this because I thought it was a good idea. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it. But maybe we do this again next week around this time. Like maybe have a debate next Saturday. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Or not even, I hate to say debate. Like we can just talk about it.
I know. Yeah, it's a conversation. But yeah, no, I produced someone else's stream that starts at, let's see, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So, or are you on the West or the East? Oh, you're on the East Coast, aren't you? That's 11.
Yes, I am. Yep.
So, and that usually wraps up at 10.
All right, well, let's plan something for next week, and I definitely would be interested in that. If you want to hang out this week and chat and just kind of go over what we want to talk about and just get to know each other, that'd be cool too. Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. Actually, I've been looking for anybody to talk to be honest. No, people don't necessarily want to come on here and talk to me.
For sure, interesting conversations are always good, and if you're not interested, I'll just stop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all in it for the interesting conversation for sure. Hold on, wait. Hold on, are you on video here?
Yeah.
Are you on video? I don't see you for some reason. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I've been doing this way longer than I planned on it, so I will end this, and I thank you all for watching, and I will do this again next weekend. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it, and hit that like button. I appreciate it. I will see you all next time.